How you doing, guys? I hope you're all having an awesome day. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm back with another video, this time some hot toys. This is She-Hulk Attorney at Law, essentially She-Hulk from her MCU TV show. This is by Hot Toys. Looking really cool there in the box. I got this from Pop Culture Collectibles, which I believe is a company in Australia. I ended up paying a little over, I think, close to $280. That included like any tax and shipping here to the US where I'm at. I initially missed any kind of pre-orders from Sideshow, and by the point I realized that I wanted this one, a lot of places were already sold out, so I ended up getting it from Pop Culture Collectibles in Australia there. So pretty cool looking box. If you open this up here, this is a slip-on type deal. You see I've already taken the figure out of the container, but over here on the side you've got the She-Hulk figure, and then over here on the back you've got the figure as well with her cell phone accessory there, and then over here on the right we got She-Hulk herself. So again, pretty cool looking packaging. I've taken the figure out because I was very eager to see it. Haven't had a chance yet to take out the accessories, but I'll give you guys a look. Now, as far as accessories for She-Hulk here, you do get, of course, your standard stand here that you get with most other Hot Toys. Again, you got a little background of the city there, the She-Hulk Attorney at Law logo, really nice. And you've got the She-Hulk nameplate here. Other than that, this is pretty much the exact same stand you get with other figures. I haven't yet taken the plastic off. I don't know if I will, because I don't know if I'm going to use this. But again, pretty cool they include this. You also do get a little holder here for your figure. This is not the ones that I'm used to with the clamps. I kind of don't like those. This one's a little better, right? And it kind of does extend in and out to match your height. So again, really cool. That goes with the stand. Of course, you will get your instructions, which I will recommend you do take a look at. It kind of goes over the poses and everything. You get some extra looks like what, joints for the wrist pegs, right? So you got two of them. You get this little tool, which initially I didn't know what it was for, but this is essentially to move the rolling eyeballs on She-Hulk, because she does have that feature. You get the tiny little cell phone. This is the only accessory other than the extra hands that you'll see in a second that she comes with. I can't really see or make out what the text there says, but there is one pair of hands that are specifically made to hold this little cell phone accessory. And as we were just talking about hands here you go. You get 4 sets. I did switch out one of the sets of hands that you get are fists. So here you've got essentially what are the thunderclap hands, as I call them. You got some grasping hands, some just straight up relaxed hands, and you got these hands specifically made to hold the cell phone. Again, the skin tone here matches pretty well with the rest of the figure. I'll show you that in a second. But overall, you just get these 4 sets of hands, so 5 in total if you include the ones that she has on. But that is it for the accessories here for She-Hulk. Let's keep going here with She-Hulk. We have her out of the box. I measured her. She's pretty tall, about 14 inches in height from head to toe. And first impressions are extremely positive. As I said initially, when this figure was announced, I didn't know if I was going to get it. I eventually ended up missing the pre-order window, and it was like waitlisted, and a couple other places that I looked into here in the US were sold out. And so I decided to go the route from getting this from a retailer in Australia, and it worked out pretty well, I must say. The figure itself is awesome. Very imposing. Again, very tall. So you guys could see her there. The uniform pretty much on point. It's like a latex slash spandex material. Looks really nice. The color as well. The pictures that I had seen of this figure don't do it justice. I think once you get this in hand, I think this is a pretty awesome figure. So I'm going to bring her in a little closer so you guys could get a better look. I guess starting up here at the top with the face. See if we can get this here a little taller. But you guys could see there the face specifically. Initially when I had seen pictures of it, I wasn't too crazy about it, but you know what, I think this is a figure that in person looks way better than it does in any kind of video or pictures. It looks really nice. It kind of does have a bit of a reference to the actress, I think it's Tatiana Maslany. But it looks really nice, right? It's like you got this nice jade green complexion with the smile, and then the eyes, which I believe do roll independently. I haven't had a chance yet to look at that. You have the hair there, which is not it's not actual rooted hair. It's sculpted, but again, I think it looks really nice. They've done really well with that dark jet black hair and the way it is sculpted. I think they've done a pretty good job there, and the likeness I think is on point. And then moving on down here to the chest area, again you've got this purple and black spandex like material with some, I don't know if it looks like it's sprayed on vinyl for lack of a better term, but it looks really nice. And again, the body proportions going on down, you know, you got the uniform look really good. One of the first things that comes to mind when I first handled this figure was the texture on the body. It's like this rubber latex. It may even be like medical rubber or latex, what have you, but it feels really nice in hand. It's squishy, and you could feel underneath this the skeleton, but it gives it a nice feel and a really good look. I don't know if you guys could tell by the video there. You could see some of the complexion and different shading on the leg muscle. On the it's done really well, especially here around the thighs and then the knees and the back. So again, this is, I think, what sticks out to me the most. Is just it looks really nice. And same thing here on the arms. Like you've got this green complexion, but you've got the muscle definition, and you know, the biceps, the triceps, and the forearms that look really cool. And same thing, right? You've got this sort of rubber feel, but it doesn't feel cheap. It feels really, you know, premium, I guess, for lack of a better term. So again, really cool. And then going on down, again, I just showed you guys the legs, but those nice kicks there, the sneakers, I think are pretty cool. Again, they're done in this white rubber or plastic with the those purple accents. So again, really cool. Very imposing looking figure there. Let's give you one last look here. But I'm really happy that I was able to get her added to the collection here. You guys could see her there. And as far as the articulation, I did mess around with it for a bit. Obviously, you're going to get some limited articulation here in the head simply because the hair is sculpted, so it kind of gets in the way when you try to move the head, but you can move it left and right. She can look up probably about that much before you start getting some resistance. That's because of the hair, so it's not really a lot. And she could look down, but again, I would be really careful with trying not to push the head down too much. Then we've got, of course, your shoulders here, so she could do that much. She can then move forward probably about that much, and then move back. You'll see the uniform here starts to sort of get wrinkled in places, but you can easily move that back. You can move the uniform around. There is an additional joint here in the upper below her chest, so you can move this down slightly and then move it up, and then that also allows you some side to side movement in there as well. So you so that's really the only movement in the torso. You can't really move this around. Once you get down to the legs though, there is some really nice articulation. I don't think we did the arms. So right here you've got your elbows, and you'll see really nice the way the rubber kind of folds in itself, almost like skin. So that looks really nice. I obviously would not leave this for long periods of time. I think if you're going to take pictures, pose them for a couple of minutes, I think it'll do the job. But over time, I would not feel comfortable leaving that in a position like that. The hands, of course, they rotate, and they do have you know, your standard hot toy ball joints there. You can pull these out and swap them out for the extra ones that come with the figure. The legs, again, you can kick up about that much. You're just being really careful with the fact that, you know, you got the uniform here to contend with, and you could see there, the muscle definition on the legs, and then you could then nice ratchets on the knees, probably about that much. And again, it's this material, you know, that they've used folds really nice, right, on the skin. It actually looks like skin, so that is really cool. And then of course you got joints here on the ankles. You can move this slightly up and down. You could rotate it, and you could slightly give it some ankle side to side. And you've got toe articulation. It's very stiff, probably about one click, at least for mine. I don't want to risk potentially breaking anything. But there you go. But yeah, but I think with the articulation that you do get for a figure this size, and the skin texture and everything with the costume, I think pretty decent. So I'm gonna play around with some poses and take out some of the accessories to give you guys a bit of a better look. But so far, thoroughly impressed with She-Hulk here, and I'm glad again that I was able to get her added to the collection. All right, guys, so here just showing off one pose for She-Hulk here. Haven't yet messed with the movable eyes yet, but as far as the body itself, I mean, as you guys could see here, you can put her in some dynamic poses. Just have to be really careful with leaving it in this position for a long period of time, especially, you know, I'm assuming this is what, silicone rubber, maybe. You know, you see some of the folds here on the arms. It doesn't look terrible. It actually looks very skin-like, which is one of the things I love about this figure. One of the things is that I don't like quite a bit is the expression. I think it's fine for a relax or a museum pose, but I think as far as putting her in an action pose, it would have been nice if they've included a angry face, right, to sort of go along with some of the action poses that you can put She-Hulk here in. And here, one more pose for She-Hulk, sort of flexing her muscles. Definitely looking very imposing, which I love. I love the height on this figure. The muscle, the skin, the way the suit kind of fits around the body. Again, awesome job. The hair does get in the way because it's sculpted, so you have to be really careful not to cause like any sort of scratching or perhaps damaging the suit. You have to, and then also perhaps not damaging the hair itself, because you do have to bend it out of the way to turn the head left and right. I think for this pose, that expression on her face definitely fits. So I think that looks really cool there. Definitely looks pretty awesome there. And just one last pose here, the pose showing the posability on the legs. Again, she's standing there on her own, looking pretty cool. Kind of getting up from the one leg position. You know, perhaps she's got done fighting. I think this is probably where a more serious or angry face would come in and looking really good. But, you know, again, I think that face kind of serves its purpose. Definitely displaying some power there. So again, looking pretty cool. All right, so as we head to the end of the video here, I want to do some comparisons to other Hot Toys figures here to She-Hulk, starting off with Deadpool. This is the Deadpool from Deadpool and Wolverine, so that's more of a recent release there, so you guys can see what She-Hulk kind of looks like next to her. One of the smaller figures I have here is the Black Widow from the Black Widow movie, so of course she's going to be very tiny there in comparison to She-Hulk, but that's what those two look like there next to her. We'll move Wade out of the way, bring in Kang the Conqueror here from Hot Toys. Looking pretty badass there. We'll go ahead and move Widow out of the way here, bring in Clint from Endgame. So again, there you go. I think that's a really nice comparison there between those two. So we'll move Clint out of the way there and bring in let's bring in a Spider-Man. So here's an integrated suit Spider-Man, the Tom Holland head. That's what that looks like next to She-Hulk. We'll move Kang out, and since we have a Spider-Man, why not bring in another one? This is the classic suit based on from the PlayStation 2 video game, technically the Spider-Man game. All right, so we'll move these two spider people out of the way and bring in some more. Let's do some Avengers. So here is the T'Challa Black Panther. This is a 2.0 version there. And we'll bring in Thor from Endgame here. So you guys can see what those look like there together. Looking pretty cool in my book. One of the bigger figures that I have here is Thanos. So I may need to probably move the camera here a bit to give you guys a better look. So maybe I'll just pan out. But that's what these three look like next to each other. Of course, Thanos is massive, which that's the Endgame Thanos, the non-battle damaged version there. All right, so then we'll move Thanos out of here very carefully so we don't drop him. Move Thor out of here. And now for the last two comparisons here, we have Endgame Cap. And we have Falcon and the Winter Soldier Cap. Looking pretty cool there. And oh, of course I forgot I had the Deadpool out before, so why not? Let's throw in baby Deadpool there on the bottom. Yeah, but that's it for the comparison, guys. Looking pretty cool there. All right, guys, gonna wrap this one up, but overall really happy with She-Hulk here. I'm glad I was able to get her added to the collection. The skin, the color, I think everything's pretty much on point. The costume looks really great. The articulation, again, it's pretty much Hot Toys, but what you do get there I think is serviceable. Again, I would have liked another alternate face to sort of get some of those action poses looking a bit more angry. The face that's there looks great. I think this is probably one of the few cases what I would have liked rooted hair, so that when you move the head, the sculpted hair kind of doesn't get in the way. But man, I think the sculpting, the muscle definition, I think they've done an outstanding job, and I think the figure looks great. It's very imposing, pretty much what was in the show. And overall, yeah, I'm really happy with this one. I think it's an awesome looking figure here. But let me know your thoughts. Do you have this one? Are you planning on perhaps adding it to the collection on your end? Otherwise, as I said, I'm pretty happy with it. If you made it to the end again of the video, thank you so much. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.